if you're a new parent, you've probably asked yourself at 3 a.m., why is my baby wide awake when I am so tired? It's frustrating, it's confusing, and honestly, it's an incredibly common experience. So okay, let's dive right in and understand what's really going on with your newborn's wacky sleep schedule. Does this scene sound familiar? The house is dark, everyone's asleep, but your little one, they think it's party time. And then, fast forward to the afternoon when you're trying to get literally anything done, and they are out cold. If you're nodding your head right now, trust me, you are so not alone. And here is the most important thing you need to hear right now. This is completely normal. It's a real thing. It's called newborn day-night confusion. And the best part? It's a temporary phase that pretty much every single baby goes through. So what does this day-night confusion actually look like? I know, from your side of the crib, it probably feels totally chaotic. But there are some very clear, predictable signs. The signs are pretty classic, right? You get these long, luxurious stretches of sleep during the day, but then night rolls around, and it is a completely different story. They're up constantly, their eyes are wide open, and they look ready to play. And then, smack in the middle of the afternoon, they're so drowsy you can't keep them awake. That exact pattern, that's the hallmark of day-night confusion. All right, so why? Why does this happen? I promise you, it's not some grand scheme your baby cooked up to keep you exhausted. It all comes down to their internal clock, which is, well, brand new and still kind of under construction. Just think about this contrast for a second. For 9 whole months, your baby's world was dark, it was muffled, and your movements during the day basically rocked them to sleep. So when were they most active? At night, when you were finally still. Now, bam, they're suddenly in this bright, noisy world and have to learn a totally new schedule from scratch.
And this brings us to the science behind it all, the circadian rhythm. This is just our natural 24-hour internal clock that tells us when to feel sleepy and when to be awake. Your clock is all set up and running fine, but your newborns? It's basically a blank slate. They simply haven't learned to connect the dots between darkness and sleep and light and being awake.
So here's the crucial thing. You can't force this process, but you can absolutely guide it. Think of yourself as the conductor, gently teaching your baby's internal clock the rhythm of day and night. So let's look at a simple plan you can actually start using. Okay, here are the 4 big keys to helping set that internal clock. First, make your mornings bright, lots of natural light. Second, and this one is huge, make the nights as dark and as uninteresting as possible. Boring is the goal. Third, start to build a simple, gentle routine around feeding and sleeping. And finally, save all that fun, exciting playtime for the daylight hours. This really breaks down the logic perfectly. During the day, throw those curtains open. Don't tiptoe around. Let the normal sounds of your home happen. That tells their brain, hey, this is awake time. At night, you do the total opposite. Use only the dimmest light possible, keep your voice low, and make those interactions all business. Feed, change, and right back to the crib. This signals, okay, this is sleep time. The most important takeaway here is to create contrast. Okay, so you've got the plan, but I'm sure you still have questions swirling around in your head during those late-night feeds. Let's tackle some of the most common worries and also get clear on when a sleep issue might be a sign of something else. This is a big one. It seems so logical, right? If I can just keep them from napping so much during the day, they'll have to sleep better at night. But is that actually how it works? The answer is a really clear no. That old saying, sleep begets sleep, is so true for newborns. An overtired baby is a fussy baby who will actually have a much harder time settling down and staying asleep. The key isn't to prevent naps. It's to have those naps happen in a bright room with normal, everyday noises in the background. Here's another common worry that can creep in. You're up feeding them every couple of hours, and you might start to wonder, am I creating this problem? Am I accidentally rewarding them for waking up? Let me just put your mind at ease. Absolutely not. Newborns have teeny tiny stomachs, and they need to eat frequently around the clock for healthy growth. Those night feeds are biologically essential, and they are not the cause of this day-night mix-up. Okay, this is the question every single sleep-deprived parent is desperately asking. You know it's temporary, but just how temporary is temporary? When can you expect things to get better?
For most babies, you'll start to see a real shift somewhere between 3 and 6 weeks old. This is when their circadian rhythm really starts to mature, and with your gentle guidance, they'll begin to connect those sleep cycles into longer stretches at night. There really is a light at the end of the tunnel, I promise.
Now, while this is almost always a totally normal phase, there are a few situations where it's a good idea to check in with your pediatrician, just to make sure everything's okay.
So keep an eye out for these specific signs. If your baby isn't gaining weight properly, or if the crying seems excessive and you just can't console them, or if they just seem really uncomfortable or in pain all the time, it's time to make a call. Also, if this whole day for night thing continues much past that 2-month mark, it's definitely worth a conversation with your doctor.
So let's just bring it all together. This is tough, there's no doubt about it. But what you're going through right now is a short, normal chapter in your baby's development. By creating those gentle, consistent routines and just giving it a little bit of time, your baby will find their way to a healthy sleep rhythm.
As we finish up, I want to leave you with this one question to think about. Don't try to change everything all at once. What's one simple thing you can start today? Maybe it's just opening all the blinds first thing in the morning. Or maybe it's switching to a super dim nightlight for those midnight feeds. That one small change can be the start of a whole new rhythm.
You've got this. With a little patience and a lot of consistency, those quiet nights are just around the corner.